Sandy Collier. We're here at my ranch in Buellton, and we're going to do this tape about the herd work portion of the Rein Cow Horse events. There's getting to be more and more herd works. There's getting to be more and more, we call them aged events, spectaculars, derbies, even the fraternities, where we do 3 events almost at every horse show now. So the herd work's getting to be a pretty important part of our triathlon. This is not a how-to video. This is going to be a troubleshooting video. It's about the problems that we encounter in the herd work, the things that the horses throw at us while we're showing, how to get through it at a horse show, but more importantly, how to train so that we avoid those problems at the horse show, how we train at home. There are already a number of good cutting tapes that have been done, and Lynn has done a really good video on fence work. This is just a how-to troubleshoot herd work video. It makes you look a whole lot more professional if you cut your cattle good in the middle of the pen. You don't commit too soon and get caught in traffic. You don't switch cows, which is a huge penalty, but you just take your time. So one of the ways that I get my non-pros to really take their time is I say every three steps as you approach the herd, just stop and take a breath. So these are fresh cattle. They aren't going to know how to find their way back, and we also only have 2 people helping. But if I was riding into this herd of cattle at a horse show, I would take a few steps and I would just see what the impact of my being here is causing them. And I would take, take a breath. Just take a few steps, just pause. Take a few steps and pause, and just kind of get everything slowed down to where you're seeing what you're doing to the cattle, and the cattle have kind of time to get used to you, and your horses stop thinking about stopping, and then you can go in and make your cut. Now, normally I would have brought more cattle out with me, but like I said, these are fresh cattle. We only have 2 people helping, so I'm gonna go ahead and step up to this one that I'm trying to cut. I'm a little bit ahead of it here because I see these other cattle over here. I know that that cow wants to go that way, so I need to lead it and stay angled up in it so that I get this cow cut and get it stopped. I want to get my cow stopped in the turn if I'm turning, but I also want to get it stopped while it's moving so that I stay in the middle of the pen. Okay, so that would be those are the kind of things that you want to think about when you're getting your cow cut. Now, another way for people to approach a herd is to go in the middle, like when they get particularly sticky toward, if you're like the last or the second to last cutter, you can go in and split the herd and make them come out around you on both sides. That it's different for the cattle because nobody's cut them that way usually. Normally what people do, if you really pay close attention, the cattle are in a holding pen over here. So if I roll these cattle around me this way, they're going to roll faster going toward where they were being held up. So if I'm getting later and later in a set of cattle and they've been rolling around this way and they've been rolling pretty fast, it would be much smarter for me to walk in this way, have my help step down here and roll them out here, because then they're rolling away from their gate and they're going to give me just a little teeny bit longer to get my cow shaped and cut. See, they aren't really thinking about going back over here because they aren't, that's not where they've been. So see, I get a much better chance to get my cow cut that way. Okay? Now, so let's go back to splitting them up in the middle. Most people don't cut them the opposite way, so that's a good thing to do if your cattle are getting sticky. But the other thing would be just to step right down the middle of them and let them come up both sides of you and see which way they're rolling around better, and then just kind of go with whichever set seems to be heading out toward the middle, or you may want to get them all out to the middle. Maybe the cow that I want's clear back here, whatever. Maybe I can't get any of them out, so if I step like this and give these guys a chance, they'll probably head out toward the middle of the pen and give me a better shot at getting cut. Again, because it almost looks like milking time when you're the last cutter in a set. They all have their butts to you, they're all lined up against the fence. It's really hard to get them up out of there. So you want to approach the cattle a way that they haven't been approached before, and splitting them in the middle is a really good option.